Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2017 horror mystery The Endless, a film that is just getting its release now. And this is a H.P Lovecraft inspired horror movie, and one hell of a bizarre watch, I have to say. I've been hearing some good buzz about this movie. It's been on the indie scene, I think, since 2017. Like I say, it's just getting its release now, and I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about it. So I've been quite looking forward to watching this movie. And I have to say, after watching it, it's one of those movies that I really enjoyed. But I'm just not quite sure why. It's a bit bizarre, this film, but that's kind of the point. Like I say, it's H.P Lovecraft inspired. And in a lot of ways, this film reminded me of the TV show Lost. You know how that show, if you watch that show, you know, it would keep giving you more questions and answers. And it just got more and more bizarre as the seasons kind of went on. This film was kind of like that. In its themes and content, and a lot of it as well. So if you're a fan of the TV show Lost, you'll probably find some stuff to enjoy in this movie. And what this film focuses on is two brothers who, some years previously, and I think it indicates in the movie it's about a decade previously, they escaped from or left this strange cult out in the desert, Arizona desert somewhere. And one of the older brother describes it as like this UFO death cult that were eventually going to ascend, as they kept saying, which essentially means usually mass suicide. And he was desperate to get him and his brother out, and they managed to get out. And it shows them, you know, they get interviewed by the media and all this kind of stuff. It was a big hoo-ha how they got out. And for the next 10 years, they're kind of living pretty crappy lives. And when we see them, they're doing cleaning jobs for a living. They're having to eat pasta and noodles because they've no money. They're pretty poor, crappy lives, really. And the younger brother receives something in the mail from this cult. It's a videotape talking about, you know, the ascension, etc., etc., and how wonderful life is. And he wants to go back. He wants to visit because he wants to just see for himself again. Is it what they remember it to be, or is it what his older brother told him it was, because he was younger than him? So the older brother agrees to go back with him for a visit in the hope that he can get it out of his system, his younger brother, and they can get on with their lives. And they end up going back to visit this cult out in the desert. And it seems like this really idealistic life that they're living, and they start winning over the younger brother. He likes it, and the older brother is very, very conflicted, and there's some weird stuff start happening then, and that's where I'm going to leave it, basically, because that weird stuff is just that, weird stuff. Now, it's classed as a horror, this movie, but it's a mild horror, I would say. It's more like a mystery, sci-fi kind of, with horror stuff in. It's hard to categorise, I would suggest, this movie, but it's not horrific. It's not terrifying, but it's really interesting and it's really intriguing. And I was absolutely glued to the screen because I was really keen to know what was going on, and what the outcome of all this meant, and essentially what is going on with this movie. And while you don't get the answer you might want, you get an answer. And what I really liked about this movie is it doesn't hold your hand at all. It doesn't give you an exposition. It doesn't say this is what this is, deal with it, or you know, or just give you exposition that wasn't required. It allows you to kind of interpret things in your own way. It gives you snippets of things to try and figure out, but the majority of the time you'll just be scratching the head and you'll be going, what the hell is this I'm watching? It's bizarre, guys. It is a bit bizarre. Now, I could imagine some people watching this and getting really frustrated with it, and I can understand that. And I'm kind of surprised that I didn't get frustrated with it at times, because it, like I say, it doesn't hold your hand, and it doesn't necessarily give you the answers that you might expect or want, or it just kind of says, this is the film, take it or leave it. And I kind of respect that, I really do, guys. So yeah, The Endless, a really, really fascinating film. One that I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was filmed excellently. I thought it looked really, really beautiful. I thought the cast all did an excellent job. It's crammed full of actors, some of whom you'll recognise, and they've all like done a reasonable amount of mainstream stuff, but none of them are like names you'll know. So they've been clever in the casting here. And also my understanding is that this is, if I can remember rightly, this film, yes, the filmmakers of this film in 2012 made another film called Resolution. That is, this film, The Endless, is like, oh, it's almost like a remake of Resolution, from what I can gather from some of the things I've been reading. And a lot of the cast members from Resolution end up in this movie, The Endless, playing the same characters. So it looks like they've looked at what they did in 2012 and thought we can do better. And I have to say, what they've delivered here is a really, really interesting movie that really drew me in. But I don't think it's for everybody. It is a bit of an acquired taste, this movie, guys. So I will give it an 8 out of 10, because I have to say I really enjoyed it. I like movies like this that don't hold your hand and keep you guessing, and they're a bit bizarre at times. So yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, guys. But I could fully understand people watching this and just thinking, what a load of old tosh this is. But there you go. Sometimes it's what your interpretation is of what you're watching, isn't it? So there you go, The Endless, guys. I think it's a really, really interesting film, and one to look out for if you get a chance to watch. I don't think you'll be too disappointed with it. So thank you very much for watching, everybody.